Once upon a time, small talk was enough. A brief chat about the weather, a polite smile in the elevator. These gestures once carried warmth. They were signals of friendliness, small sparks of humanity exchanged in passing. But something has changed. The same words now fall flat, as if drained of their emotional voltage. The modern person nods politely, responds automatically, but inside feels nothing. The truth is, our relationship with communication has transformed. We live in an age of constant connection, yet paradoxically, deeper isolation. When everyone's voice can be heard online, language itself begins to lose its intimacy. The pleasantries that once bridged distance now feel like noise in a world already too loud. Small talk used to prepare the ground for something real. Now, for many, it feels like a barrier instead, a shallow layer that prevents entry into genuine emotion. People want to skip the prelude and reach the essence. What do you believe in? What do you fear? What keeps you awake at night? But such questions feel too heavy for everyday life. So we float on the surface, aware of the depth beneath us, but unsure how to dive. What feels pointless about small talk isn't just the words, it's the gap between what's said and what's meant. It's the dissonance between human hunger for meaning and the habit of pretending everything is fine. The conversation dies because the soul finds nothing to feed on. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. George Bernard Shaw. Modern life has turned the mind into a battlefield of attention. From the moment one wakes up, the brain is bombarded with input, messages, updates, advertisements, opinions. This flood of stimuli doesn't just inform us, it wears us down. What used to be a quiet moment between thoughts is now filled with screens, and silence has become almost extinct. This constant engagement leaves us mentally starved. The brain, overwhelmed by surface-level content, craves depth the way a dehydrated body craves water. After hours of passive scrolling and digital chatter, a small talk conversation feels like yet another shallow stream. It requires energy we no longer have for something that no longer nourishes us. In a way, small talk is a relic from a slower time, when people weren't overloaded with information and casual exchanges helped fill the emptiness of quiet spaces. But now, silence is rare and sacred. When people find it, they prefer to preserve it rather than fill it with trivial words. This isn't a rejection of people. It's a quiet rebellion against noise. The human brain, tired of fragmentation, begins to seek what is real, lasting, and sincere. That's why we gravitate toward meaningful dialogues, deep podcasts, or long introspective talks. We are trying, perhaps unconsciously, to heal the fracture between noise and meaning. The price of information is attention. The price of attention is meaning. Yuval Noah Harari. There's a growing cultural shift, a yearning for authenticity. In an age of filters, marketing, and algorithms, people can sense insincerity faster than ever. We are surrounded by perfectly crafted personas, yet what moves us most are the cracks in the mask, moments when someone speaks with honesty and vulnerability. Small talk doesn't fit this new landscape. It feels artificial because it hides emotion rather than revealing it. People no longer want to perform, they want to connect. That's why we're drawn to creators who speak openly about fear, confusion, or imperfection. Their words remind us that humanity still exists beneath the algorithms. This craving for authenticity explains why so many avoid shallow exchanges. It's not social laziness, it's emotional evolution. We've learned that time and energy are precious, and spending them on conversations that lead nowhere feels like betrayal to ourselves. We'd rather say nothing than say something meaningless. To seek authenticity is to seek alignment between language and truth. It's not about being deep all the time, but being real, even in silence. When people find that kind of conversation, even a few words can change them. Because truth, once spoken honestly, vibrates at a frequency that small talk never can. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Social norms evolve just as languages do. What used to be polite now feels unnecessary. What used to be distant now feels cold. For generations, small talk served as a lubricant for social cohesion, a way to signal kindness, to avoid confrontation, to show respect. But modern society, with its shifting values and digital mirrors, has rewritten those expectations. We now measure social connection less by politeness and more by emotional resonance. People want to feel seen, not merely acknowledged. A quick "how are you" doesn't satisfy that need anymore. Not when everyone already shares their curated life online. The social contract has changed. We value depth over form, honesty over manners. This change can create friction. Some still find comfort in light conversation, while others see it as avoidance. Yet both are right in their own way. Humanity is in transition between old etiquette and new intimacy. The key is not to abandon small talk completely, but to use it as a doorway rather than a destination. Perhaps the question is not, why is small talk pointless, but what does small talk need to evolve into? The answer may be a new kind of dialogue, one that begins on the surface but dares to dive deeper, gently, respectfully, humanly. Man is a social being. Communication is the essence of his life. But when communication becomes routine, the essence fades. Eric Fromm. The death of small talk isn't the death of communication, it's the rebirth of meaning. As society grows more complex, humans are beginning to reclaim the sacredness of words. We are learning that every sentence carries energy and every interaction shapes consciousness. Empty words drain, sincere ones heal. The people who reject small talk are not antisocial, they are seekers. They sense that time is short and truth is rare. They crave the kind of conversations that linger, that shift perspectives, that make both people a little more awake than before. This is not elitism, it's evolution of awareness. Meaningful connection doesn't require grand philosophy. Sometimes it's simply listening with presence, or asking a real question instead of a polite one. It's giving attention not to respond, but to understand. It's silence shared without fear. It's the courage to be genuine in a world that rewards pretense. Small talk isn't pointless, it's just incomplete. It can open the door, but only depth can make us walk through it. And as humanity continues to seek authenticity, our conversations and our hearts will follow. When words are both true and kind, they can change the world. Buddha. If these words resonated with you, if you've ever felt the quiet emptiness of surface conversation or the hunger for something real, then you're part of this shift too. The world is full of people longing for depth, meaning, and presence. We're all just trying to remember how to speak, not just with our mouths, but with our souls. So take this moment to pause, breathe, listen to the silence behind the words, and if you believe that meaningful conversations deserve more space in this noisy world, then stay connected, like, subscribe, and share this message. Not just for the algorithm, but for the quiet revolution of genuine connection that begins with you.